This going to boring, but I want to put two servers together so to see what makes entry level, what makes high-end server. So at my right side is my called entry level server. So it's HP ML 110G6. It's the old server for sure. It's built in 2011. This one is I call it left side high-end server, and it's running Dell PowerEdge R630. So this server, and interesting. If I just simply compare the CPU itself, the high-end server, CPU, put the CPU marking here, so you can see this CPU, and even my entry-level CPU is is kind of faster. I don't know how we call it faster. It's efficient speed plus 19%. So I don't know how do you count this, but for sure this CPU has less core. This is 4 core, this is 10 core. So obviously the CPU, if considering the single core, this entry-level server even has the better CPU for single core, but for sure the you have more cores, you can support more workload. Okay, so and meanwhile, usually high-end server we call high-end at least two CPUs. Okay, so this one only one CPU, and in terms of other configurations similar here, the memory it got 196 memory. This one only got 20 gig memory. Okay, and storage, it's got a huge storage. This server only got some built-in storage. Okay, and for sure the size is also smaller. And let's bypass the networking. So everything seems more more than the entry-level server. But if we only count the single one, probably it's even not comparable. Okay, let's look at the interesting part is the performance. If we pull out the performance, and we can see here, so like the CPU speed, as we can see, okay, this one, okay, so this is the kind of how busy the server is, because this one has the more CPU and the more CPU core, so you can see more process is running. This one has less, and this one got some very busy line. If we scroll down, we can see each individual. So percent is one. Yeah, seems this one, because this one is production server, this one is just, it's kind of the lab testing server, so this one obviously is busier than this entry lab server. If we look at the data store, okay, data store also is focused on the latency. Okay, so latency, the less the better. So if we look at this latency, so like this one has two data store, so the latency is 12 and 10. Okay, and this is read, and the write latency is even longer. But if we look at this one will make a huge difference now. So if we look at this write latency only 0.1, so zero latency. This one on SCSI only 1.7, so those latency will give the huge different experience to users, because once you submit a job, it will, if it's related with the write or read activity, so you will feel the huge difference between these two servers is because of the latency. Okay, so maybe people will have interest how those high-end servers has such low latency. Maybe some people can comment below. And if we move forward for disk, okay, so we can see the read rate and write rate. Okay, read rate and write rate. So we can see here. So write rate. So it's kind of how busy this server is. Interesting. This one got the higher write rate. Probably it's perform some heavy duty disk activities. For example, maybe backup or some other data copy. But this one you can see, even this one is for business. So you can see this got much higher average, and if we look at the usage here, so it's much higher usage. And same thing when we put the latency here, you can see the same thing happened. This one, the high-end server, has a very low latency. This one got 29 average. This one only got 2. So these will make the difference. Okay, let's keep going. Memory is just how big and how much is in use, right? So it's for sure this left-hand server has the much bigger memory, and so here you can see on the numbers. Okay, and network it's just talking about how busy the server is. Okay, so like if we go here, you can see usage. Those usage is very low, but these production servers, some usage is quite high, average 990, and this one, yeah, very. So that means there's not too much data transferring out or in for this server. As I said, this server is a testing and lab server. Okay, but this one is a production server, and if we adapter, storage adapter, yeah, same thing. We focused on a couple latency settings, and this one's all the latency is quite low, like 5 is the maximum. This one got 12 and this one got 30. So okay, storage path, average, this one is also latency. So here you can see most of them very low, 0.0 Yeah, but this one got a lot of high latency. Okay, system system is talk about what's more likely a CPU usage. Okay, host user. We can put out host user. So average is more likely to me is how busy of this server and virtual flash. We don't have this. Replicate this field replicate. So nothing here. Okay. Okay, so that's the most of the stuff we want to go through. So to me, the high-end server one is got everything is bigger, like more CPU, more memory, more storage. But in terms of the speed, if we only talk about the single server speed, maybe if you only use 2 core, 3 core of CPU, probably it was similar speed. But once you involve the hard drive write and read, so the high-end server it configured very fast storage, so it can finish this job much quicker than the entry-level server. This make a difference and cost money as well. Okay, please comment below.